In this chapter, I just want to work a little bit on the base of the statue. Now, I find myself looking a little bit too much at that photo, so I've got to look a little bit more at the life, at the cast that is right in front of me. And there's more information on the cast that is in front of me. So there's like a little soft cast shadow right over here. And there's a very subtle perspective line because this is very close to my eye level. Now, this is the edge. Oh gosh, it's like right here. So I'm looking at the distance from here to here. And if I pull a line straight up from my corner, if I hold my pencil like that, the corner should be side of the breast roughly. Right underneath this thing, actually, a little bit more, so my measurements are wrong. Side of the breast. I'm going to place my corner right here. So changing your eye means a lot. Moving around the drawing, changing your seat, even inches, is a lot. Now, I don't know what this material is. I'm going to say it's a synthetic material. It's not real marble. It's some kind of, resin to look like marble. But I want to do like a little bit more on the base. And what I say to my students, and I've said this on multiple DVDs, is the fade-off factor. You really want to fade off your drawing and not end it abruptly. And I'm not using a ruler, obviously. I'm just kind of eyeing my perspective, going back and forth, get those long lines in. Right now I'm not concerned about matching the values. I'm concerned about getting my perspective right and getting in a different texture. Okay, this tilts a tad more than what I have on the drawing. And there's a fold of fabric right here that's folding over the thickness. And that might be a very cool way to kind of fade off the drawing. And when I look at this side plane, it's as light as that because it's kind of translucent, the material, the synthetic material of the base that is emulating the marble. And part of me wants to ignore that and just make it dark so I really can show like a light and a shadow. But we'll see how it goes. I can, adjust as I go. Now, I'm looking at the drawing more and more and more as I'm close to finishing the DVD. And the next time I do a cast drawing, I want to experiment and see what it's like on smooth Bristol paper, just to eliminate the texture. My illustrations were always done on illustration board and not on canvas because I never really liked the texture of canvas. So I'm curious now to go through the whole process again with a different cast, like a portrait cast, and see what it would be like with no texture and how that would work. But I'm committed to doing one of these, at least for myself, having like a different cast out in my office, just because it's awesome practice. I can't tell you how much better I've gotten since I've been working on this. So let's get this fabric in. Smudge time. This is okay that we use the eraser like this with all these eraser crumbs down at the bottom because I can erase down and it won't go all over the drawing. Now, yes, the fabric down below is dark, but I'm looking for a way to aesthetically fade the drawing off, and I haven't figured out. Believe it or not, I did the 3-value study, and it's very easy for me to go dark down here with the fabric. But I'm kind of feeling this out as I go. I mean, you don't want to give yourself too many rules. I mean, you want to be creative in this. This is not too much of a creative process, like creating a scene or a storyboard or stuff like that. This is all just about me teaching you how to draw. And for you at home doing this, you're doing this just out of your sheer enjoyment. it's not necessarily a creative process like what I just said. So I'm introducing a little creativity down at the bottom, in terms of me actually figuring out as I go how I want to end it. And this is very life drawing-esque. I'm really trying to incorporate some of the things that I would use in like my life drawing class. How I would fade off a drawing like a 20 or a 40-minute drawing, how I would finish it. You've got to make it look believable though. And I don't have to put the dark fabric. Just because it's there doesn't mean I have to put it. I mean, it'll really attract my eye if I go dark. And I like the loose quality of the line. Again, that's my style. More of the line and the tone. So I'm trying to incorporate like a little bit of my style into this process and making it my own and not making it one of these cast drawings. I mean, I love some of the cast drawings that I see online. And the real traditional ones. I'm not knocking them at all. I'm just trying to put like my own spin on it. And my own spin is just leaving it loose in one section. And actually what that does is it gives you an opportunity to fade off, yes. But it also makes the parts where you tried to render them look a little bit more finished if you have a section of your drawing that looks a little less finished. So now I'm getting into some of the striations and the tonal variations. And let's just call it marble base, because marble base is much easier to say than synthetic material that I don't know what is or what it is. Very light over here. I'm going to use a sharp pencil in the next chapter. Got all these folds of fabric. Probably end the drawing right here. I'm just doing all this by eye, no ruler. I don't like this tangent where the base is on the edge, so I might have to extend this out off camera. I so don't want you to watch me doing that on camera. That would be way too boring. But move the edge of the picture plane over here so I have like this little space in between the base and the edge. I'm just pushing the graphite in. It's not graphite, it's colored pencil, but I'm just pushing it into the paper. This does have a translucent effect to it versus that which doesn't. So I'm digging that. Now this dark is not on the corner. I just put it there for myself. I can always tap it later with the eraser. Okay, we're getting there. Let's come back.